Well, Coach, speaking of this week, and by the way, if you're just joining us here on ESPN Denver 1600, I'm Rod Sharan, along with head coach Bill Tierney. Your next test certainly get a difficult one, the Cobb County Classic. Number 3 Duke on Saturday, Kennesaw, Georgia. Coverage will begin at 11:30 right here on ESPN Denver 1600. Tyler Mon will have the call. You beat this team a year ago in this same event, 17-13. Obviously, 2 powerhouse programs. You've got a long history with their head coach there, John Danowski. Let's kind of start there. What makes Danowski and has made him so successful at Duke and obviously at Hofstra before that?
Well, John is kind of the Phil Jackson of Division I lacrosse. He's a lot smarter than the rest of us, and he does things in total different ways. And you just watch his kids over every year develop and get better and better, not only throughout each season, but also throughout their careers. And in other places, you kind of see these guys come in as good players, but they don't get any better. And John is just, he believes in the things he believes in. He's got a big picture mentality, and he lets his kids kind of play and go hard at you. It's going to be a lot of pressure in this game defensively, but he also lets them play with their style, and they have fun doing so. So it's going to be quite a challenge. We've had great games with them in the past, and of the last 3 national championships, these 2 teams are the ones who have them. So should be a great day.
Now, for you specifically, as we kind of match up the coaches, you're 11-7 against him, 4-2 here in Denver, and of course, you guys had your battles at Princeton and Hofstra. Taking that into account, what looks specific, and I'm sure you only have a couple games to go off of, but what looks different about this year's Duke's team, or what maybe stands out to you that's going to play in going into this matchup on Saturday?
Well, last year they started, a bunch of freshmen on defense, and so now they're a bunch of sophomores, and they're experienced, and they're big, strong, tough kids. So defensively, they've shored things up. We'd have to play a heck of a game to get 17 on them again. And then offensively, they've got every starter back. Their top 6 players are back. So, they've got Miles Jones, who's arguably the best midfielder in the country, number 1 draft choice in the MLL, and he's just a monster and a lot to contend with. And then just a bunch of guys that play the game with great skill and great athleticism, and a face-off guy that's going to be one of the stiffest challenges for Trevor Baptiste all year long. And so it's going to be a wild lacrosse game. My guess is it'll be high scoring, but we'll see. We'll talk about that next week.